It's a very good afternoon from Rose Point Park in Singleton. Kendall Clawson and David Redden here with you at beautiful Singleton on a magnificent afternoon. It's absolutely glorious here in the Mid-Hunter. Unfortunately, it's very dry in this part of the world. You notice it when you drive up and you come out from Maitland. But good to be here, good football people, good ground, good club. And can't wait to win this game between Newcastle City and Singleton. About to start in about 4 minutes' time. Singleton 1, Cam Saunders 2, Jesse Bates 4, Andrew McPherson, James Coleman 5, Andrew Scott 6, Zach Thompson 7, Sam Brazenton 8, Dane Coburn 9, Oliver Moody 10, Luke Draper 11, Richard Woods 12, Alex Mitchell 13. Now I've got a clash in numbers there, so I'll just have to check that with you. Looks like he's not playing. Conrad Smith in 14. So Smith is out, and he's been, there's been a change of number for Jackson Colletu. So Jackson Colletu in 14, and Will Brayshaw 15, Cam White 16, Sam Howard 19, Aaron Grant's changed jumpers into 28, Matthew Canales 23, Cam McClellan 24, Mitchell Gaffney 25, Luke Davis 26. So yeah, Smith not playing today, so I'll just put his name down. Okay, over to Newcastle City, some changes here, a big one in particular in number 7. 1, Josh Taylor, 2, Mac O'Malley, 3, Harrison Selkirk. 7, normally Connor Haswell's number has been taken today by Angus Beckett, so Haswell out. Joe O'Donoghue 8, Hugh Blanchfield 10, Stephen Scott 11, Mitchell Knight 13, Jack Harder-Conan 14, Isaac King 15, Benjamin Ellis 16, Ethan Durbridge 17, Jackson Crawford 19, A. Gibson 20, Aon Carley 21. Neither Kendall I overly well, so excuse me, please. Jack Bayer 24, Rick Jackson 26, Anthony Baker 28, Liam Carroll 60, Brady Sweetman 77, Cam Sheridan in 41, and Bentley Cook in 40. And that's the team announced. Not far from game time here. It's about 3 minutes to 2 Eastern Standard Time. I'll bring you some updated scores and possibly some draws for finals in lower grades later on during the afternoon. I'll just have that ready so I can go on at any time. The other game we're interested in for the makeup of the 6 is Warners Bay and Maitland, being played just down the road at Max McMahon Oval in Rutherford. And whoever wins, yeah, there's a couple of permutations there, but put it this way, if Singleton win today, they'll finish 5th and play Killarney Vale. If Singleton lose today and Warners Bay lose, Singleton will stay the same. But if Singleton lose today and Warners Bay win at Maitland, and they'll be favourite to do so, they'll exchange places, meaning that Singleton will play Cardiff in the 3v6 final and Warners Bay would play Killarney Vale. So we'll keep you up to date with all the action, in particular at Max McMahon Oval in Rutherford. The other games don't have many permutations on them making it the 6. As we know, Terrigal of Oak and Newcastle City are already booked a passage to the preliminary final. They've got the week off next week. And Cardiff, Killarney Vale, Singleton and Warners Bay all will be playing football next Saturday, with those finals next week being played at Wirram. So we're halfway in between the finals venues. Maitland and Musselbrook for next week. Rock and roll time. First quarter of the Black Diamond Cup, and we're away. Good tap out, Carley. Very clever Irishman. New to the game, but goes very well. Scott in and under. Gee, there's a surprise. Brayshaw. And yes, he's the brother of. Ball sits on its end. Good tackle on Bates. His old man, Travis, played in the plate today. Had a catch up with Travis Earler. Kicked 100 goals a few seasons ago. And very good player in his own right. And I'm told that young Bates is a very handy footballer as well. Tap forward McPherson, brilliantly read by Mitchell Knight. He's actually got sunscreen on today. That's how warm it is out there. Out of bounds in the full from the usually reliable Mitchell Knight. Right on centre wing. Again, it is a beautiful day. There's the slightest of breezes. But it's a glorious day at Rose Point Park. Hard, fast track. No excuses. Sam Brazenton was superb last week in the second half. Just unreal. O'Malley comes over the top of White. Scott in the forward line. Handball out. McPherson misses. Singleton the first score. Singleton one behind. Newcastle City yet to score. Durbridge has got this thumping left foot. Doesn't use it, goes short. Baker. I don't know how he'll go in the early Davey medal in a couple of weeks' time. Missed a couple of games this year, but he'll have to pick up 4 or 5 threes, I would have thought. O'Malley, still think he'd be in the top 5. Handball comes out, should go wide and does right in front of us to Brayshaw, who's a handy pick-up for the Chooks, I tell you. This time picked off by Harder-Kynan. Unusual, number 14. Baker goes wide with a spiral. Crawford tries to get it out one-handed. Ducks it into that a bit, did White. As a result, no free kick. Scott looks like he's got Bowyer for company. That'll be interesting to see if he tags him all day. It's a tart ass. He's just so fit. Out of there comes Colachew in 14. Different haircut for Jackson. On his day, he's capable of doing anything, Jackson Colachew. We've seen him do it in the finals before. Yes, Andrew Scott's got Bowyer for company in the background, so that's going to... But Scott was tagged last week by, I think, Carey from Nelson. Mate, great tackle, Scott. Should have been paid. And today he's got the company of Bowyer. He works through it very well, Andrew Scott. Lovely work to Mitchell. Away goes Miller. Singleton up and about early here. Oh, lovely play. Is that Colachew? No, it's not. It's Calburn. Thank you. Got the man bun. Jackson hasn't got it this week. And Calburn, who Rosie tells me is the lesser of the 2 Calburns who play football for the club. I'm not so sure about that. He's been in good form, Calburn. Not electing to go Stevie J, and he's missed that and gone for a behind. Singleton 2 behind. Singleton and Newcastle City yet to score. Singleton all over it early on, up and about. Can they last the 4 quarters against these guys? Durbridge comes to his natural side. They've sprung the gap for Harder-Kynan. Brasington swooping. Offended to his face, which is normally a free kick. Interesting to see that on replay. Mitchell roving, wants to get onto his left. Does. Beats a tackle. He's had a bounce. Now gets rid of it wisely. Back to Mitchell. Needs to get a kick on it. Can't. Durbridge off to Baker. And away goes to Rolls Royce. Goes square. Look at the immaculate delivery. Out there to Scott. Down the wing. That was O'Donoghue and 8. McPherson. Brayshaw. Good lead. Young Bates has got that one out in half forward flank. Kicks it better than his dad. Calburn just inside 50. Plays on immediately. He must have spotted someone. Brasington moving into space. Now, just looking at the angle, it's a bit hard here for us. I can't quite see where the boundary line is, but I don't think Brasington needs to go Stevie J here. I think he can get, and he's got such sublime skills anyway. Went to Sale in Gippsland a couple of seasons ago. One of the most valuable player. Brasington misses. Singleton 3 behind. Newcastle City yet to score. 5 minutes gone first quarter. Durbridge. Where's he going here? Plays on through the front of the square. Good mark. That's a great contested mark to Carley. Baker at quarterback, his usual role. Watch for the delivery. This time it's only average. Picked off out there by Gaffney. Selkirk gets away with it. Goes down the wing. Again with sunscreen. It must be warm out there. O'Donoghue. McPherson. Brayshaw's got to stay on his feet. Sweetenham. Oh, brilliant handball out. Blanchfield. Handballs to himself, really. Off his shoulder. Desperation stakes for Singleton here. They don't want to give up a goal after having all the play. Andrew Scott, lightning hands. Oh, picked off. I think that's Joe O'Donoghue out there. Yeah, he's got the screen on. And he's going to be kicking from, not to the naked eye, there's the line, probably 43 to 44 out. He's a lefty. There's slight breeze here. There's not much, but you can just feel it in commentary. Newcastle City for their first score of the day. Average kick, and it's touched. The goal umpire saying that that's touched, meaning that this will be a boundary throw-in. And that's what the players are congregating for. So no score. Yep. So it's a boundary throw-in because that ball was touched off the man on the mark. Read by Brayshaw Best. Gets a handball out in it with an urgent situation. Gaffney's in trouble. That should have been paid, sir. Andrew Scott. Good user on either foot. Selkirk goes backwards. They'll want to get it in Baker's hands. They do. This time he's under pressure, however. Gets another handball out due to his upper body strength. McPherson. Sorry, not McPherson. That was Thompson. Got to get rid of it. Does eventually after trying to beat the tackle. Colmer, who's as short as Rosie. Straight down the line. Kicks to space. Mitchell's on his non-dominant side. He may use Coburn here and does. Coburn taps it back to him. Mitchell stepped his man. Can continue on here and get on his left. He doesn't. Coburn spots a man in the middle. Must have been a push in the back, surely, or interference. Bates. Handballs off to Thompson. Back to McPherson now. Tackled out of it. Mitchell gets a kick to that one. A nice mark by Baker. Sitting way back and deep is Baker. Perfect delivery again. Finds O'Donoghue. Goes square. Not an overly good kick. Colachew. Can he stay on his feet? He can. He's a very strong lad. And ball goes to the ground, and it'll be a ball up. So quiet on the scoreboard early here at Rose Point Park. 8 3/4 minutes gone. Singleton up by 3 behinds. McPherson on his natural left. At least in front was Coburn. I thought Scott was tackled without a football. Now, umpire right in the spot. So Scott's got Bowyer in 24 for company all day, it would seem. That is a big ask. Thompson. They both jump early. Bates. Scott in and under. Good tackle, Andrew Scott. And we've got a ball up. That was Liam Carroll in 60. Oh, brilliantly read Colmer. Absolutely superb. Great front and centre roving from James Colmer. First goal of the day, Singleton. Singleton 139. Newcastle City yet to score here at Rose Point Park in Singleton. Looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Haval just down the road from us in East Maitland and Brian Hilton Haval in North Gosford for their range of affordable SUVs. Book your test drive today. Their SUVs are superb. And we'll just go on and see if there's an early score from Maitland. There is. Maitland up by 4 points early on. 117 to Warners Bay, 3 behinds. Warners Bay known for kicking you behind this year or two, or 23 if you don't mind. Thompson. Well read there by Cornelius. Goes down the spine. McPherson gets it to ground. Brasington leads the way. Now he's got space. Brilliant handball. Finish it, Bates. He can't. I think that's just snuck in from behind. Singleton 1-4-10. Newcastle City yet to score. 10 3/4 minutes gone. Quarter number 1 here at Rose Point Park. Nice crowd here. Good place to watch footy too up here in the amenities area at Rose Point Park. Straight down the spine, Durbridge. Diving mark there by Bowyer. Goes short. Touched. Mitchell Knight. Back to Bowyer. Under pressure at the moment, Newcastle City. Out there from Scott. Just chain handballs, slicing their way through Crawford. Uses his speed. Colachew. Think that might be Sweetenham in 70s. No, it's not. It's Blanchfield. Good mark. Good football, City. And Abe Gibson, this talented sportsman. G'day, Nathan. How are you, mate? Good to see you, pal. Nathan Wilmot, the president of the Newcastle City Football Club, coming past us in commentary. With a well-earned VB, I might add. Gibson. Low driving ball. That's the steady that Newcastle City needed. Abe Gibson, their first goal. Newcastle City, 1 straight 6. Singleton, 1-4-10. Here at Rose Point Park in Singleton. Located on picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook. I'll repeat that website because I stuffed it, 16s.com.au, or find us on Facebook. The home of the Hunter AFL, the Hunter Central Coast AFL, and the home of the Elliott Davey Middle Line on Wednesday, September 4. Looking forward to enjoying that night with a lot of the colleagues and friends in football. Grant back out on the field. He was off earlier on to get that. He's got a dodgy rib, I believe, so he's getting restrapped. Colmer. Oh, crash bang there from O'Malley. Get out of my way, he said. Held in. Got to make a clearance for the umpire there. They do. Harley. Colmer. That could have been. Yeah, I agree. There was a what appeared to be a hold in the background there. Not paid. Jake Hartikainen. Usually a good user. Picked off, however, by Brasington. Short ball was average from Brasington. But Baker, for once, not perfect disposal. Colmer off to Grant. Good tackle, I thought, on Grant. Over there's Howard. He might be in all sorts. Umpire says mine. And he's actually, I beg your pardon, he's played a free kick there. I won't comment this time because I didn't see the exact point of contact. A bit obscured, so I'll have to stay out of that one and leave that up to the umpires. Howard. Has kicked it. Just snuck in the goals there. Sam Howard's goal. First of the day. Singleton 2-4-16. Newcastle City 1 straight 6. Joel Deacon, Sam Howard, Brianna Howard's brother, or correct thinking. Who's the elder? He's the younger? Right. He's a very talented sister. Brianna played football earlier today for the Singleton Footy Club. 10 points of difference here. Another coal train coming. I can feel it. You don't have to hear it. You can just feel it. The earth moves. Singleton up by 10 points early on and looking very, very up and about, I must say. That's right. 28's change, isn't it? Grant's into 28. Tap forward. Blanchfield. Off to Gaffney. Thank you, mate. I'll put those in for you at quarter time, okay? Sam Howard goes backwards. Brayshaw. Brilliantly done, Brayshaw. Superb. Crash. Went. That wasn't Mitchell that time. It was White, actually. Singleton are fair dinkum up and about. Oh, gee, that's almost holding the ball. Singleton are really up and about. The confidence levels of these guys since their winning spree is amazing. Probably should have beaten Warners Bay as well, to be quite honest with you. And they're just confident, playing hard footy. And there's the sniff of finals. There really is. It's only next week here. I know that's a bit rich. No, it's next week, but they're just playing such committed footy. Double-footed jump from Carly. He must be some kind of athlete because he got very high. And gone. Andrew Scott with the tackle. onto his natural right foot. Not a good kick, however. Unusual for Scott. Wide ball. Out to Howard. No, sorry, that was Howard. Got a leap. Oh, man in front. Good mark there to King. Goes wide. Baker in space. That's usually dangerous. Picked off Brayshaw. Big, strong unit. Colachew. What can he do here? Delivers to Calburn. Calburn well within kicking distance. He's kicking against a slight breeze, but you think a player of his quality should get the distance. Calburn from about 42. Off to the side. You wonder whether Singleton will pay for this later on. 2-5-17 Singleton. Newcastle City 1 straight 6. 11 points of difference here at Rose Point Park in Singleton. Big day for the Singleton Footy Club. Their last game at home this year, no matter what happens. Durbridge. Finds Harder-Kynan. Right, there's 3-on-1 here. If they get it to Brasington, there's trouble. Oh, he misses. I would have paid all the money in China for Brasington finishing that. Singleton 2-6-18. Newcastle City 1 straight 6. 12 points the difference, and again, I make this point. 6 behinds in the first quarter, not what you need. Durbridge. You wonder whether City have gone to this game slightly complacent. If they did, they can't be now. They just need their better. Baker's had a good quarter, but not very few of their players have done otherwise. Scott tapped out. Howard, Harder-Kynan. Bates putting pressure on Harder-Kynan. Taps it backwards. Out comes O'Donoghue. Gaffney, good mark. Just use his body cleverly there. Straight down the line. Good mark, and good mark there from Cornelius. He's got Calburn, but he ignores him. Oh, good mark. Really clever there from Carroll. Goes straight down the spine. Scott roving. Seeming to free up his tag lately. Colachew 1 bounce. Colachew 2 bounces. Not without a chance in that distance. Gets it to the hot spot. Calburn, Harder-Kynan read it brilliantly. Beckett in 7. Drop low left foot ball. Howard goes backwards for safety and gets his man in Putt Mitchell. Having a run on the ball. Scott's created space on the wide, but he ignores it. Mitchell straight down the spine. Into open pasture, Brasington. And this is about the exact spot where he took one of the best marks I've ever seen last season against Wine Lakes. Almost in that exact spot. One-handed, leaping, hung up there for an eternity. Where are the Rovers? Here's Brasington again. Coleman's off him. He'll do well to screw that around, and he can't get it far enough, and Durbridge picks him off. Calburn on the mark. Durbridge goes short. Baker, again, almost the best player on the ground and a beaten side so far. O'Donoghue. Goes straight down the wing. Gaffney there or thereabouts. Going to ground. You can't, oh, well, he had to actually. There's no choice there for Draper. I reckon that's Draper at the bottom. We've gone 20 minutes in this first quarter. Singleton kicking against, if what little breeze there is. All right, 12 points up. 40 is Cook, Bentley Cook in the headgear. Won't miss him today. Up with Thompson. Cook reaches over the top. McPherson, little left-footed ball, gets about 35 metres. Brilliantly picked up. Good tackle, however. Bates. Lightning handball, butters up for more. Who's he found this time? Calburn coming backwards. Has he got someone running off to his right? He hasn't. Colachew's got to get rid of that. He does somehow. Off to Thompson. Straight down the middle. Should be one-on-one contests. Brasington and Harder-Kynan. There's some Rolls Royces. Handball's out. Scott, another Rolls Royce. And he's ball held to him in an excellent tackle by his shadow for Jay Bowyer. Singleton up by 12 points. 2-6 to 1 straight. Well run by Cook. Brasington and He's kept out. Gone! Oh, surely that was a free kick. Thought he didn't get rid of that ball properly under the rules of football. Anyway, we progress. Well done, Howard. Again, Singleton looking very, very committed to this one today. Of course, if they win today, they take control of their own destiny and will play in a 4v5 final against KV next week at 2:15, I think, or something like that. A later start due to extra time possibilities. So just a touch later next week. Boundary throw in. Oh, brilliantly read by Baker. And perfect delivery to Sweetenham. Sweetenham goes wide. Good football. And Crawford will go. Knows how to kick a goal, this bloke. Very, very good football, Newcastle City. Newcastle City 2 straight 12 with a goal to Crawford. Singleton 2-6-18. ISC have been at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel from grassroots to elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the preferred apparel supplier of the Hunter Central Coast AFL for the 2019 AFL season. Very good football from Baker, sharking the ball off the ruck contest. Must be a nice feeling. There's Travis Bates in foreground in the blue shirt and light blue shirt. Kendall on the right there. Must be great running water out there on a football field when your son's playing out there. Must be a great feeling. Thompson wins that one. He waits and gets that contest. Bowyer. That's White. In and under a bit of a dust bowl, the cricket deck there. I wouldn't want to be falling on that today, although I can see they've left grass on the deck. Fair contest with the ruckman. O'Donoghue off to Beckett. Sweeping handball wide. Picked off by Scott. Off to Howard. Howard's not without a chance from that distance. Oh, 2-7 Singleton. Again, will they regret this later on? Singleton 2-7-19. Newcastle City from very limited opportunities, 2 straight 12. 1.25 minutes left in the quarter. Newcastle City will want to get through with no more damage on the scoreboard, I would have thought. Durbridge. Selkirk just had the right angle on that one. Straight down the wing from Selkirk. Good mark. Well done there from Ellis. His first touch today, really. Short ball. Poor disposal. Picked off by McPherson. On with his left foot. Goes wide. Perfect delivery to Young Bates. Shanked that slightly, but made some good running from Calburn. Thumping right foot kick is immaculate to Brasington. Singleton have got about 1 minute 30 seconds to do some damage here. Mitchell again will get a chance to use his left. Does. Screws it around towards the goal. Where are the Rovers? Thompson's in there for a 6'3" rover. Ball, that will be the last part of action this quarter with the boundary umpire about 15 metres away. Singleton 2-7-19. Newcastle City 2 straight 12. We'll be back with you in a couple of minutes for the start of the second quarter. And a warm welcome back to Rose Point Park in Singleton. The Chookies up by 7 points. Just speaking with Mrs. Baker and Deacon behind me, and we're just a bit curious about whether that seven behind quarter will end up costing Singleton much in the scheme of things. So, gracious me, there's some interesting scores. Terrigal down to Killarney Vale by 8 points at quarter time. Maitland down to Warners Bay by 5 points. Cardiff are destroying Wyong Lakes. And Nelson Bay over Gosford. So the game of interest for the makeup of the six, Warners Bay, very similar scores to here actually. Warners Bay 2-6-18. Maitland 2-1-13. And that's the other. I'm sure that Corey Shackleton and Brendan Lewis will be a very happy co-coaching outfit there at Killarney Vale. Killarney Vale up by 8 points over Terrigal at Hilton Moore Oval. Actually, that's an amazing score line. So back here, Ryan Stanton, the prime possum with the football. He doesn't like being called that, but I call on that every week because the umpires actually asked me to do it. If you check the big man. Carley and Thompson in the ruck, and we're away. Well run by Carley. He's got a superb lead. Does Carley have a Gaelic football background, do you know? Yeah, he looks at, Gaelic. First year. He's got that Gaelic football build, they can run all day. Out there from O'Donoghue down the line. Oh, that's over the shoulder, surely. Excuse me, and paid. Average kick. Ellis. Singleton work it out. Comes down the centre wing. O'Malley, who was quiet in the first quarter, did some good in and under work, but didn't get many possessions. Brayshaw actually had that as a mark if his compatriot in McClelland had let it go. Is that out of bounds of the full? No. Just that slight breeze still working here, right to left of screen favouring Singleton. Andrew Scott in front. His shadow there, Bowyer doing the job. And Scott kicking the ball out of bounds of the full. 7 points the difference here. Try and get you some update. I will try and get you an around the grounds update throughout the quarter. David Redden and Kendall Clausen here with you on Bar TV, the best in the business. Both slightly below 100%, but plugging along. And Kendall will be with us next Saturday when we're at Max McBarn Oval in Rutherford for Bar TV. 3-game set with the Black Diamond Plate starting earlier due to the possibility of extra time in the finals. And we'll be on air from about 9:40 next week, calling all 3 games, Plate, Women's and Cup. And I'll have the pleasure of having the great Lucas Holmes in right next to me where he belongs for the entire day, and Lucas will take over chief commentary role in the Black Diamond Cup with me as his sidekick. And we're looking forward to the big man back with us next week. Baker gets it to the hot spot, one-on-one contest. Gibson can't get it to Crawford, who was sitting behind. Comes out wide. Comer does enough to get that ball to ground level, which in the context of that, giving away 3 or 4 inches was a good effort. Speaking of short plays, it was wonderful to see a new player called Cade Chandler make his debut for the Melbourne Footy Club last night. And had his father present his jumper to him, which is pretty special. They often have past players present those sort of things with the first jumper to a player. But to have your dad give you your first jumper at AFL level must be a real thrill for the young lad. Thompson. Singleton up and about today. Brasington. That's a very good matchup. Brasington and Harder-Connon, 2 really, really good players. Really, really good. Doesn't do justice to it. Outstanding players. Tries to beat the tackle. Singleton are on here. They've got some space. Scott's free. So's Cornelius. Gets it to Scott. Scott's not without a chance from that distance. Got to make a contest and rush through. Young Bates putting pressure on. Singleton 2-8-20. Newcastle City 2 straight 12. You agree with that score, Kendall? Thank you. And the scoreboard does as well. So I'm going okay in all three directions here. Durbridge. Beautiful kick to the square. McPherson drops what he should have taken. Now Malley swoops in like a thief in the night. Big contest here. Taylor's in there, the young fella with the man bun. Actually with the headband. Comes wide now. Out to the centre wing. Ball's going to stay in actually. Thompson, who Paul Kelly reliably tells me is extremely fit and doesn't stop going. Not a tall ruckman, but has a real go. The other lad, Carly, is in this ruck. It's his first year of football, but you can tell he's played some serious Gaelic footy in his time. Great leap. A great leap. One-handed, one-arm tackle. I thought there must have been a free kick coming. Colmer. Another one there, I would have thought, but not paid. Letting it go, that's fine. As long as it's consistent, and it has been today. Umpires haven't made it play the part today. Just getting a bit feisty here. Nothing wrong with that. Tapped down by Thompson. Carly went it slightly early. Off the knee and out of bounds, not on the full. Colmer, who looks like a cheeky Year 10 halfback. Tapped out by Carly. Obviously has an understanding of the rules because he didn't hit it out of bounds on the full. Tap out Scott. Oh, handball Scott, actually, I beg your pardon. That's a possession, not a tap out. Scott staying his feet. I reckon Andrew Scott would have been an outstanding 7 or 6 at rugby union level because of his ability to stay on his feet. He just doesn't go to ground, and in that sport, unlike this one, you've just got to stay on your feet. And Scott's a master at it. Carly wins the contest. Knight, who's been well held today, gets a possession there, though. Over the head. Blanchfield. Knight with the sunscreen. 2 possessions in 30 seconds. Gibson took that slightly easy. Now away he goes. Wants his left side, goes to his left hand. Gets back on his left now. They've gone back 25 minutes, but they still have the footy. Over there from King. Howard in front out there. Just gets a kick despite a very good tackle by O'Donoghue. Bates, good step, gets the arms free. Knows how to play the game, the kid. Bracing turn. Ducked his head, not a free kick. Good decision. Carly. Colmer chasing. Look at them swarming. Singleton. That's got to be a free kick this time. Dangerous play, that's called. Sam Brassington head over the footy. Off one step. What's the delivery like? Mitchell. Where are their rovers? Bates! Goal. Jesse Bates' first goal today. Singleton 3-8-26. Newcastle City 2 straight 12. ISC have been at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel from grassroots to elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the preferred apparel supplier of the Hunter Central Coast AFL for the 2019 season. Singleton created numbers up there and they've done a very good job. Ball back in the centre now, well roved by young Bates, and in his job as a small forward. His old man would have been very proud of that. Singleton 3-8, Newcastle City 2 straight, 8 minutes gone. I'll give you an around the grounds about halfway through the quarter, about 12:30 or 13 minutes through when I get a break. Of course, of great interest, Mitchell Knight flying out the middle, as he's done so many times in his illustrious career for this football club. Gaffney's got to get rid of it. Good chase in there. Taylor comes around the corner. If he kicks that, he's a genius. Ball stays in, I think. Does. Moody. Got to be immaculate with that delivery to Brayshaw, and is. Brayshaw down the wing. Kicks it to space. Good speed there from King. Poor delivery though. Brayshaw. Long ball. Brasington, good mark at the second grab. He's winning that contest against Hartikainen. Brasington's playing almost as a permanent centre-half forward, it would appear. Scott off his marker in Bowyer. Bates roving again. Handballs to AN Other. Out there to Jackson. Baker. Mr. Immaculate. Finds Stephen Scott. Howard comes in and intercepts. Again, the Roosters playing committed, passionate footy today. And smart. Cowburn's got to recover. Does. Scott in there. Being kept forward by White. Can't pick it up now, and they've lost possession. Stephen Scott goes wide. Got a chase. They do. Good tackle. Great dual effort from McPherson and also Davis. Mitchell. Short. Scott just kicks over him. White. Scott. Impossible angle. He couldn't. He hasn't. It's still in. Cowburn. Oh, it lucks a fortune. Room service bounce for O'Donoghue. Hartikainen. Finding the voice train to left. Baker. Off to Taylor, who needs a haircut. Down the line. Blanchfield, I think. I thought Sweetenham was in 77. I'm going to check that. I'll just check something in here. Yeah, that's what he's named in. Out here to Beckett, playing in Connor Haswell's jumper today. Mark to Gabe Gibson. And again, Newcastle City counter-punching. Put around on his angle. I didn't think it was that severe, the angle put around. I thought he ran almost straight forward from the mark. Gibson's got one today. He's been their main focal point down forward, Newcastle City. Of course, missing Cam Keith today. Gibson misses to his left. Newcastle City 2-1-13, Singleton 3-8-26. O'Donoghue's over here getting some work done on a lower shin or an ankle, it would appear, on our left. Okay, updates of scores. I've got a perfect opportunity with that, with a slight delay. Let's go and get them now for you. Black Diamond Cup. Nelson Bay up by 21. Terrigal of Oaken now within 1 point of Killarney Vale. Maitland and Warners Bay are a point the difference. Warners Bay shooting terrible. 2-8-20. Waitland 3-1-19. I'll come back to that. Ball bounce for Sweetenham. Out there from Colachew. Brayshaw just gets rid of it. Mitchell Knight reads it. He's got a great strength, Mitchell Knight. Blanchfield. Short ball's perfect. Absolutely perfect delivery. And this is Cam Sheridan who's going to take this kick for goal. I think City must have a match day sponsorship from Zig. There's so many blokes out there with Zinc cream on. Going through his procedures, Sheridan, left-footed. It looks pretty good. And is. And that's a much needed. To say that was much needed is a massive understatement. And he hasn't been put on. That's interesting. Sheridan, I'll have to go and add him. Just excuse me for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Just go and add Sheridan. I thought he was on there. He's not. Yes, Newcastle City. Sheridan. Score check, of course, is 3-1-19. Oh, it's 3-8-26 to 3-1-19. I'll just go and add Sheridan if I can do that quickly. There it is. This is name. Sheridan, add, and save. I'll fix that score up in a second. Comes out with the left foot, goes into the forward line. Scott now playing forward. That's an interesting move for mine. I'll try and explain this, mate. And they've changed a bloke onto him as well. They've changed Carroll onto him because of the height difference there. Let's go and add that goal for City now to Sheridan. Yes. And now Carroll scores a spot on. Scott on his left foot. And that's in. Immediate bounce back. Scott's gone forward to shake the tag. And it pays immediate dividends. Singleton 4-8-32. Newcastle City 3-1-19. It's the Central Coast #1 station for hits and old schoolers, 101.3 CFM. Wake up with Gawney and Ash Pollard after breakfast, full of pranks, real talk and passion for the community and local initiatives. Start your day with Gawney and Ash Pollard from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. weekdays. And if you're listening, it's a massive cheerio out to the Zickman family. Sam and his beautiful wife have welcomed a new baby daughter this week, Pia Jessica Zickman. A couple of weeks preemie, but all of us wish you all the best, Sam, and your beautiful family. I hope you're having a lovely day. If you're listening, send us a message if you can, mate. But congratulations on the new addition to family. The community football manager at AFL HCC, Sam Zickman, a great man, and beautiful welcome to the family of lovely baby daughter this week. That should be a free kick to the ruckman. Ryan Stanton right on it. And this is Cook. Goes wide. Picked off by his pup, Mitchell. Goes square. Maintains possession to Howard. Coltrane coming. There it is in the background. Brasington off with his right. Gets it in the forward line. Scott playing where he did for the league. Magnificent handball, Cornelius. And look at this. Cailburn. Should be another one of these. Compelling football from Singleton in this first half. Singleton 5-8-38 with Dane Coburn's first. Newcastle City 3-1-19. And Andrew Scott to centre half forward is doing some damage. Subway Morris Centre is open 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. Trading hours 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Support local businesses. Subway, eat fresh. 21 points of difference here. 19 points of difference here. As someone that used to live near a major rail siding in the western suburbs of Sydney, hearing trains coming past quite regularly is quite a comforting, soothing sound. Thompson wins that head out over Cook. Scott comes in from the side. Bowyer. O'Malley. Hartikainen. Baker. Sweeping wide. Beckett. He's going to come back on his left now. Who's got to sit here? 4 of them do. Colachew was one of them. Cook. That's gone. Almost gave himself up there. It was so badly gone. Mitchell's got to get rid of that. He's also should have been gone, to be fair. If we're going to be unbiased and fair, there were 2 holding the ball decisions here, one against either side. Cook. And 2 wrongs don't make a right. Scott dragged out of that illegally by his tagger, Bowyer. Scott back on the ball now. Given back. Oh, hello. That ball wasn't given back on the full. That's interesting. There's a case there for a 50-metre penalty. Scott. You'd love to know what's going through that brain at the moment. A lot, I would suggest. Picked off there brilliantly by Selkirk. Mitchell Knight in the middle. Under pressure, just gets a kick away. Scott lopes after this one. The league captain. Perfect delivery, Colmer. Colmer, all 5'4" of him. Brasington back with the fight. Is that Coburn in the distance? Look at the delivery. Singleton looking the goods here at the moment. The big question will be, can they make it last in the second half? Dane Coburn, you'll have a good look on Kendall's camera shot with this goal attempt here. Coburn pulls it left, I reckon, badly. Singleton 5-9-39. Newcastle City 3-1-19. And, of course, they've got a second ball, so not so much time. Whistle blown. What's he make him do? Use the other footy? He is. So I do have a time. He's made him go to get the other footy. And Black Diamond Cup fixtures. Nelson Bay up by 36 over Gosford. Terrigal Oak up by 5 over Killarney Vale. Maitland up by 11 over Warners Bay. Cardiff up by 46 over Wyong Lakes, and Singleton up by 20 points here. That's your around the grounds with thanks to Hunter Vale. Crash ball. Scott stays on the ground, keeps his balance. Two Newcastle Cities knocked each other out there, or out of play. Brasington on the mark, gives Scott a little cheeky one around the chops to go with. Scott comes down the combox wing. Perfect delivery to Taylor. Appears to be a very good mark over his head. That was a beauty. O'Malley. Just slowing the tempo slightly. O'Malley short. Gets it to Knight. Singleton will put his extra man spare. McPherson's on his own in the back line. Sitting in the slot. This ball will come close to where McPherson is now. Singleton get the rebound. Brayshaw off to Brasington. Off one step, goes long. Oh, that's got to be a free kick against Mitchell. Courageous work there by Bayer. No, that's an absolute free kick every day of the week. And he got him over the shoulder. Baker swoops in behind. In that quarterback role, he's perfected. Scott, McPherson on the mark. Scott goes out a wing. Hartikainen's run and made space. Bates can't get to him. Hartikainen off to Baker, who would have 20 touches so far. Lovely step, Selkirk. Wicked, actually. Scott just gliding back like the class act he is. Now he's got two players out here for him. Wilkes is here. PK was telling me earlier on that Wilkes is a more veteran player but can seriously play the game. Thompson just brilliantly smothered Bowie. He's been quite good today, actually. Good tackle, but no prior. Bowyer's sitting off for Scott at the moment. Scott's gone back into the into the back 50, and Bowyer's sort of playing as a roving role at the moment. Baker with a handball. Colachew, left footer under duress, gets it away. Cornelius comes at it hard. Turns around in a wide arc, gets underneath it. Bates has got to go here with Selkirk. Too clever Selkirk. Mitchell comes late. Beautiful work over to Ellis. Right next to the cricket deck, right in the centre circle. Colachew misses the mark. Scott, sweeping handball. Back to Scott. Colmer. They've created space. Brasington's gone the barrel there. Three-quarter necked it. Gets it towards Mitchell. I think both sides are playing one in defence because it's a bit harder for Singleton to score at the moment. There's not that long left in this quarter, so... And I'll just get the official time in a minute. Our clock stops here for a moment. Trouble. Wilkes is in there. Out of bounds. Joel, how long gone, please? Thank you. 2:43 to go in the quarter. Thank you, mate. So just a couple of minutes left in the quarter. Good work, White. Now, that's an almost impossible thing. He's going to square it, which I thought he would. Oh, hang on! Oh, unless it's flicked the post, that's remarkable. That's a goal to White right at the end of the quarter. And you can actually feel the confidence where we are here at the moment in this footy club. They're just playing really committed footy. What a half of football from Singleton. Other than shooting, they've been very compelling. Singleton 6-9-45, Newcastle City 3-1-19. Bar TV, the specialists in live streaming and broadcasting of sport, including the AFL Hunter Central Coast. Bar TV Sports, making your game the main game. Singleton looking like they're heading towards a 4v5 final against Killarney Vale next week. And right in the centre circle there. A little bit dusty. I know they've put some water on it, but it's dry up in this part of the world. Goodness me, they need some rain. Anthony Baker, who's been terrific under duress today. Selkirk goes wide. Crawford chased by Draper. Out there's Crawford, doesn't like to use the left. Check side's a right foot kick. Gets it back to Crawford. Out deliberately or out in the fall or neither? Neither, and it's just out of bounds. Into the last minute here of the second quarter. And with Warners Bay down at the moment and Singleton up seriously looking like winning this game, you can see it looks very much like Singleton will end up in that 4v5 final. Amazing performance. They just came in the second half of the season. They've been brilliant. Good tackle on Scott. Cornelius, last chance. There's only about 10 seconds to go. They need a mark. Mitchell, I wonder if he realises how long there is to go. Handball. They can't finish the last one, can they? They've got to kick the goal. Oh, doesn't. No score. I think the central umpire's got that. Just wait on the umpires. I'm sure that's not a goal by what I heard. It's up to the umpires here. It's Coburn who had the kick. Hold with us, please. I'm confident that this is not a score because the siren had sounded. And it is no score. So at half, and it is no score. That is the correct decision. That is the end of the quarter. Singleton 6-9-45, Newcastle City 3-1-19. Umpires conferring, get it right again. That's the end of the quarter. We'll be back with you in about 7 or 8 minutes to have a bit of a chat about Graham Farmer. Back with you shortly. Welcome back for a very special halftime break. We usually have Conversation Corner, but it's a bit hard having a conversation on your own. I want to give a retrospective. This week saw the passing of Graham Farmer, ex-Geelong, of course. A man really regarded as the greatest ruckman in the history of football, and that's a big statement. There's a bloke retiring this weekend from Fremantle that's in the top 5. But Graham, and also one of the best footballers in the history of our game. Graham Farmer was born in Western Australia and was brought up at an orphanage in Fremantle. And I want to read through to him. I took this excerpt off a superb Jake Nile article in the Age. I read the Age a lot for footy. When you live in New South Wales, you're deprived of seeing good football writing. This is Graham Farmer's career. Just reading through it. Please bear with me. I really would like to read it complete. Australian Football Hall of Fame, inaugural legend of the game. He's the one of 12. Played 176 games for East Perth, 1953 to 1961, kicking 157 goals. Played 101 games for Geelong, 1962 to 1967, kicking 65 goals. Played 79 games for West Perth, 68 to 71, kicking 55 goals. 31 games for Western Australia, 6 games for Victoria. And here's where it gets really interesting. East Perth best and fairest, 1954, 55, 56, 57, 59, 60 and 61. So before he went to Geelong, Graham Farmer had won 7 club best to give you an indication of what the man was. Geelong best and fairest, 63 and 64, and he won a best and fairest in a grand final winning side in 63. West Perth best and fairest, 1969 when he'd gone back home. Sandover medal, which is the Western Australian equivalent of the Brownlow medal. Sandover medal, 56, 57 and 60. So in 56, 57 and 60, I'll go a bit further. The Simpson medal, 59. East Perth premierships, 56. So in 56, he was the best and fairest player in his club, the best and fairest player in the league, and his side won a best and fairest. Geelong premiership, 63. He went back as a 30-year-old to West Perth and won 2 flags there. All-Australian 56, 58 and 61. AFL Team of the Century, first ruck. Indigenous Team of the Century, first ruck. Geelong Team of the Century, first ruck. West Perth Team of the Century, first ruck. East Perth Post-War Team of the Century, first ruck. West Perth coached in 68 to 71 for premierships in 69 and 71. They're the statistics. When you watch, I'm 51. Graham Palmer's last game of football in the VFL was for Geelong in a grand final in September 1967. I wasn't alive. And you see some of the things he did in that grand final, handballing the ball 35, 40 metres. His tap work, his marking, setting up plays like Billy Goggin, who was a superb rover for Geelong. But this bloke genuinely changed the game. When I say that, the Geelong premiership sides of the early 2000s, this decade, set about using handball as a real attacking weapon. The first player to do it was Farmer. Handballs were always a last-ditch defensive mechanism if you're getting tackled. Graham Farmer would grab the ball in ruck contests or marking contests and on the way down in mid-air handball it and set off his rovers. And he created this atmosphere at Geelong where his rovers were made far better players by him because of his innate skill and his ability to change the game. When he was in Perth, he was a beautifully athletic player. He's only 191. So to give you an indication of how tall Graham Farmer was, he's the same height as Patrick Cripps and Josh Kennedy. 191 centimetres tall. This man changed the game. When he finished football, he set up an education foundation for Indigenous people, and over 1,800 people have been through it. To read the articles about that foundation, a third of their people go to uni, a third get a trade, and the other third get a job. We're talking about an absolute luminary in the game. Sorry, my voice is going. Sorry for a pregnant pause. He's done there is no more important player in the league in the history of the game for what he's done inside the game and outside the game. than Graham Vivian Farmer. So, again, just to have a look at that record, he won 10 club bists and fairest between 1954 and 1969. So over a 15-year period, he's in two-thirds of all of those years, he was his best player in his club as Singleton come back out in the field. I just thought it was appropriate to pay some respects to the guy, to the man, his legend, his legacy. I know Geelong people will tell you he's the best footballer of all time. Sam Newman, who doesn't give much credit to anybody and doesn't say, he doesn't speak wildly about many people, will swear blind that he's the best footballer that ever lived. So, Graham Farmer, well done, sir. And rest in peace. Sides back on the grounds now. Goal just taken a look. Apologies for that, everyone. Struggling with a bit of flu. Fascinating situation here. With Singleton up by 26 points. Just quickly, if I can. The women's competition should now be sorted. So, the women's competition is sorted. Next week, in the semi-finals in the women's comp, Wyong Lakes will play Cardiff. And Newcastle City will play Terry Loka. With Kalani Vale and Maitland having a week off. In the Black Diamond Plate, Terrigal of Ochre and Newcastle City will get a week off. And the other four are in a really interesting situation. I will try and get you a Black Diamond Plate score, actually. Just see if I can get that score. Warners Bay leading Muswellbrook by 12. I will come back to that. There's just a lot of mathematical calculations there. The way I read it is that if Warners Bay win, Muswellbrook will drop the 6, they'll play each other, leaving the entrance Baddo Bay and Kalani Vale to have a massive Central Coast derby, and those two don't like each other in the 4v5. So we'll come back to that during the afternoon. But the women's, as we said, we now know that Wyong Lakes will play Cardiff and Newcastle City will play Terrigal of Ochre. Third quarter about to get underway here. Players coming in. I just hope I did justice to Polly Farmer there. Apologies for coughing and losing a bit there. I'm just really struggling during that with my chest and playing up just at the wrong time, just when you need it. And away we go in the third quarter. And the breeze has really picked up action in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Singleton up by 26 and Newcastle City has the breeze. Bowyer extracts. Some good work being done there. Colachu ducked his head and will be in all sorts and should be gone. Really, I thought that should be gone. Regards to the fact that he ducked his head. But anyway, he's got away with that one. Kicked forward off the ground. Bracington, good pick up. Handball comes wide. Kick down the spine where you can hear the breeze in the effects box. It's really picked up. Cornelius. Colmer drops it. Selkirk glides away over towards Beckett. Handball out. Scott. There, he listens because he All these players told him he was hot. McPherson thumps it forward on his left foot. Mitchell in front. Where's Bates? Roving here. Can he do something magical? No. That should be holding the ball by mine. And who gets the kick? Carroll. But Davis just waiting to give it back to him correctly and does. It's a little bit like Corbin Bond from distance, actually. Baker. Oh, good tackle, Coburn. Now that's out of the full. It was either out in the full or could have been deliberate if it hadn't been. Breeze has picked up, and interestingly, it's changed a bit. It's actually now almost a due easterly. He's running straight at us, so it's almost going straight across the ground. Yeah, that is a directional change. Brasington kicking into that Breeze. Breeze gets a hold of it. Davis smothered. Oh, nutmegs himself. How that wasn't illegal, I do not know. Baker. Selkirk. Wide. Mitchell Knight flying through the middle. Taylor, impressive young player. Good hands. Tapped over the back. Well read. Oh, dragged out of it. That'll be a free kick. Brady Sweetnam, I'd reckon. And is. Where's the gap in the right? There's where he's kicking to. Taylor. Went about 17 or 18 metres. That was fine. Sheridan was giving a lead there a minute ago. Taylor. Gets a decent bit of it. Good mark in front from Brayshaw. What an important addition he's been to this football club. Wide. Taken by Gaffney at full strength. And again, it's great to see Gaffney playing football again and being so confident. He was the victim of an act of thuggery last year and was out, got a broken jaw. Great to see him back playing good, confident footy, Gaffney. Goes short and down the spine. That had to be taken. Wasn't Colmer. Can't quite get there first. Carley beats him to it. Colachew does the dipsy doodle and gets away with it. Cornelius at the back. Could have actually taken that. Coburn puts on pressure. Davis gets the result. Mitchell and Carroll. Mitchell should go off the ground. No, he doesn't. Now he's got to wheel around like the Queen Mary in his left. Is that a free kick? Wow. And he's a natural left footer, but gracious me, this is a tough kick. I wonder if he'll go, he's considering going Stevie J. Runs around, does so, and misses. Singleton 6'10", 46. Please. Thank you, Nadine. Singleton 6'10", 46. Thank you, mate. Just moving a bit on me, unfortunately. And Newcastle City 3-1, 19. 27 points of difference. 4.25 minutes into the third quarter. Durbridge, who's got a beautiful left foot. He really is. Oh, that's got to be no attempt at the ball. Not paid. Mitchell steps inside looking for options. Goes square. Scott's under this. Can't quite gate the mark. Carroll does a good job. Bates tries to intercept. Can't. Almost a throw. They're under pressure here. Carroll. Here are the tacklers. Busts the tackle and gets away. Well done, Carroll. And Abe Gibson takes the mark. Leans back and kicks with that left of his. Mitchell Knight goes at 45. Brasington can't stop the mark out there from Bowyer, who's been serviceable today. Out there from Gaffney. Brasington off one step, goes bang, and it goes 50. Hard ball to mark in this weather. Good tackle made there, very good by, I think it's Durbridge who made the tackle, it is. Just all of a sudden, this breeze has come up from the east. Hear it in the effects microphones. Bowyer again, goes down the outer wing. Taylor courageously goes back with the flight. Gaffney's had no prior there. Mitchell Knight nods ahead. He knew there was no prior. And there'll be a ball up here. Is Howard coming across to take the ruck contest? No. Thompson's got there with the Irishman Carley. Blanchfield in 10, working with Hartikainen just behind him, talking way through it. Punch comes from Moody. Mitchell Knight in and under. Very strong player. Sweetenham, good tackle on Sweetenham. Brayshaw swoops and picks up the crumbs. Goes wide. Brasington with Hartikainen for company. That's such a good duel. Look at Brasington. Talk about an elite player. We missed him at rep level this year. Over the top of Mitchell. It's like a jack-in-the-box, this ball. It's bouncing all over the joint. Calburn tackled at the last minute. Durbridge took that tackle on. It's interesting there because I thought there was a holding the ball just before it against Singleton and it wasn't paid. And then Durbridge tried to ride the tackle from Cornelius. I actually think it's the correct decision. But there's a case for a holding the ball decision before it. So Cornelius from almost point-blank range. Scott sucking in the big ones over there on the left-hand side, getting air into his lungs. Cornelius has kicked another one. Singleton on their way here to a big upset and a 4v5 final, which is remarkable. Matthew Cornelius a goal. And just go back here. I think I've already got that. No, I need to go at game. There we go. Please, thank you. Beautiful. And that's the first goal of the quarter, with thanks to our sponsors, Central Coast Physiotherapy, Tyre Power, and Awards Are Us. 33 points of difference now, and Newcastle City don't look like scoring very often. That's the problem at the moment. Singleton's defence has been superb. Bowyer, who's been tackled, who's done a good job on Scott, and Scott's still one of the best players on the ground. Colachew, quick kick, ball bounces into the 50. Selkirk, got good balance, steps around Calburn. Now that's going to go straight down Coleman's throat, and he takes a good mark low to ground, and that's saying something because he's low to ground, but he took that nice and low. Driving low ball, that's the way you got to go in this weather. Cornelius has got to give that off. That's another one! Kendall, can you go back to the goal kickers, please? Cam White, thank you. Was Cam White. Thank you for that, guys. Cam White's second goal. And Singleton are 8-10-58, getting their goals and behinds much closer. 39 points in front of Newcastle City, and sending a warning out to the rest of the league. Look out when you play the Roosters, because they are just playing compelling football today. This is the best I've been watching Singleton for a few years, through the plate and then into the cup. This is the best that they've been. This is their best lineup, their most balanced lineup, and they just look like a real finals football side. Let's see how they finish off this game. City have got to do something remarkable now. Won by Carley. O'Malley handballs out to himself, gets two possessions. Bowyer. Oh, that's almost beneath the knees. That should be a free kick to Bowyer. That should be a free kick to Bowyer. I know the player went hard in the football, but Bowyer got connected with beneath the knees by White. Not paid. Carley. Good tackle on Baker, gets rid of it. Down the line, good work Brayshaw, just nudged Gibson out of it just at the right moment. He's a smart player, this fella. Comes from a pretty handy family of footballers, and his uncle, of course, is a superb cricketer. Played first-class cricket for Western Australia and South Australia, did James Brayshaw. And he's one of his great uncles, Ian Brayshaw, who was a superb commentator for the ABC. Once took 10 wickets in a first-class cricket match for Western Australia. Real sporting pedigree there. Good mark, Wilkes. Short. Oh, should have taken it. Cornelius just took his eye off that for a minute, I reckon. And connects with Baker accidentally. Just goes back to say sorry, mate. So this throw-in is going to be almost straight into this breeze. So this young fella's got an interesting job here. Does a very good job of that into that breeze. Ruckman get a fair contest. That's all we can ask. Harder-Kynan beats a tackle, beats 2 tackles, has a bounce. Well done, Jake Harder-Kynan. But gets picked off by Brayshaw. Goes square. Was he? No, he's looking for Bates. Bates goes short. Mark! Oh, Brasington, no wonder. Lovely work, Singleton again. And this is the bloke you'd want the ball in his hands, Samuel Brasington. Netball announcements in the background. This one it makes Singleton 9-10-64. And he's done it. What a performance by Singleton this is. Score check. Singleton 9-10-64. Newcastle City 3-1-19. ISC been at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel from grassroots to elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the preferred apparel supplier of the Central Coast AFL for the 2019 season. And we also thank Belmont 16-footers for their wonderful support of our league. We'll all be there for the Elliott Davey Medal on Wednesday the 4th of September, which will be broadcast live via streaming on your one and only Bar TV. I hope our man Kendall's in good form for that one. Belmont 16-footers, a beautiful spot. Lovely part of the world. 45 points of difference. The next opportunity I get, we'll have a score check from around the grounds. Thanks to Hunter Haval. O'Malley dumps it forward. Gaffney's been doing a good job up there. Oh, Crawford in the open, you'd back him. And he misses. They are the types of things that Jackson Crawford loves, those flashy run through the middle type setups. Couldn't quite get his foot around that one. With the ball going around, Nelson Bayer will beat Gosford. Terrigalavoka 18 points in front of Killarney Vale. Maitland 21 points in front of Warners Bay. And Cardiff 65 points in front of Wyong Lakes. So at the moment, when I get a break, in fact I've got one now, at the moment if scores stay as they are, Singleton will play Killarney Vale in the semi-finals next week. And Warners Bay and Cardiff will play in the local rivalry. And let me tell you, if you think there's no love lost, Killarney Vale and Dandenong Bay, there will be absolute bruises aplenty if Cardiff play Warners Bay in the finals. It'll be on for young and old. Again, that's got to happen. That's almost deliberate and not called. Do we need tape on the telly, Kendall? See how it goes. Okay. The breeze is now blowing so hard that we're considering having to tape down our broadcasting screen. It's really now howling. Temperatures dropped by about 6 degrees as well, I reckon. All going okay. Carley, left hand down to Baker. Just misses him. Cornelius, Mitchell to Scott. So Scott's gone for his venture down forward. Probably changing with Brasington, right? Brasington's there as well. Harder-Kynan, who is a very evasive, strong player. Again, his delivery's not good. Bowyer, Newcastle City's in their top 6 today. He's been quite solid. Colachu and Knight, 2 hard nuts there. Knight goes to soccer tactics unsuccessfully. Taylor's in there. Can City make him pay? Crawford, goal. He won't miss from there. I don't know why he's going on with a bit of extra stuff there with to Brayshaw. Jackson Crawford kicks his first goal today. Second goal today, I beg your pardon. Newcastle City 4-2-26. Singleton 9-10-64. Looking for a feature packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Haval Maitland and Brian Hilton Haval North Gosford for the range of affordable SUVs. Book your test drive today. We are going tape, are we? All right. I'll take care of it. It's fine, mate. No problems. Would you mind? Thank you. 4 corners. There, and there. Thank you, mate. Ball's come back to the centre. Just waiting to get everybody settled here. And our TV's being taped. Thank you, Mr. Flockhart. Young bloke did a good job umpiring today. Did a good job. Goes to ground, but gets a handball out to Howard. Grant. Wearing the bigger jumper, I noticed. He eventually got the bigger jumper, did he, Mr. Deacon? That's just a bit of a side story. Oh, the jumper's too tight. So they got him another one, which is good to see. Brasington turns around, gets a quick kick out. Crash ball there. Who stays on the ground? Good step there, intercepted Brasington. Wise. Off to the side. That breeze has really picked up. Wow, that's strong. It's amazing how much that's picked up. It's now a 20 knot easterly. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. That's great. Great job, thanks. Oh, you always have the gap, I'm telling you. It makes a massive difference. It's not cheap, but gee, it's good stuff. Thank you again. So ball out of bounds out here. Durbridge. Lead there by Blanchfield. Couldn't quite grab the ball. Jackson Crawford. Throw-in coming in here. 38 points the difference. Singleton up. About 8 minutes left in the quarter. There, that's where the young bloke's going to have a couple of issues with throwing into that breeze. Almost almost blown off his feet there. So secondary throw-in. He'll come in a few yards to give the ruckman a fair crack. Cornelius kicks that into his own player, Bowyer. Oh, good tackle, Mitchell. It's interesting to say, so Mitchell's gone really hard at place. He's hit a lot of people very hard. And Bowyer barreling in underneath as well. He hasn't taken a backward step. I think he's one of Newcastle City's few winning players, though. I think he's been quite good. Mitchell Knight onto his left. Just tapped out there by Moody. Ball out of bounds on centre wing in front of us. So, unless something quite remarkable happens in the next 35 minutes, Singleton have booked themselves a 4v5 final against Killarney Vale. Quite possibly at Wirraman Field in Muswellbrook. Just have to wait for confirmation. That's not confirmed. And then Warners Bay would play Cardiff, and again, venue not confirmed. We know what the venues are, but just who plays where. The two finals next week we played at Maitland and at Muswellbrook. Baker, left-hand handball over the shoulder, trying to get that out of bounds, and does. What a fascinating change. To get an easterly in this part of the world is quite rare, let me tell you. Where I live, it's a bit different because I live on the coast. We're a long way from the coast here. And to get an easterly change is quite strange. Ball goes off the side. Carly reads it best. Cornelius. Brasington, good chest mark in front of Hartikainen. Scott! That's a mark! Called play on by the umpires. I thought he had control. Brasington. Bates, quick handball, McPherson. Now, can Saunders... No, he can't. Just too quick, Selkirk. Wow, that breeze is hectic. Everything's going to have to be tied down shortly. Very blustery day. Bates, they've said play on. Pushed out of it, I thought. No free kick, Carroll. Comes wide. Picked off Cornelius. Can't quite hold on to the ball, however. Oh, good work. Can he find someone with the kick? That's the key here. Scott at ground level. Saunders! Well done by Scott. Very clever and unselfish football to Saunders. Man, unbelievable scoreline. The entire league will be watching this game with quite a deal of shock. Not the fact that Singleton are playing so well, but the score. Singleton 10-10-70. That's right, 10-10-70. Newcastle City 4-2-26. With thanks to Central Coast Physiotherapy, Bar TV Sports, Subway Morisset, and Tyre Power. 44 points of difference. 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. What a performance by the Chooks, and it's an amazing performance. Just goes to show what happens when you get your best 22 on the park, doesn't it? Tapped out Carley. He's going to be important for Newcastle City in the prelim final. Mitchell Knight. Very well done, and that's very much Newcastle City football. Gibbs is going to have to kick this outside the right goalpost by some away. This breeze will drag that ball right to left quite savagely on the screen and in the air. Yeah, seriously, it's a 15, 20 knot breeze now. It's quite strong. And it's worse out there on the field than we're quite protected up here. Gibson hits it out the correct place. That is a superb kick, Abraham Gibson, using the breeze to advantage. And that's Gibson's second goal today. Newcastle City, a 5-2-32. Singleton, 10-10-70. Awards are established 25 years ago. They pride themselves on an ability to supply high-quality work and personal professional service. David and Lisa are experienced in fulfilling the most complex needs of their clients. Special deals available for all AFL Hunter Central Coast clubs. 38 points the difference. Just a few minutes to go in the quarter. When we come back from the three-quarter time break, we'll have scores from around the grounds. I've got it as 70-32, guys. Baker. Crawford out in front, gets an awful bounce. I do mean awful. Kate Holland, I hope you're watching. Mitchell Knight set up the last goal. Well done, Colachu. Hard ball there. Lovely choice of a handball there. Gets it off to Scott, off to McPherson. The other thing about the Singleton players is I reckon some of their players have really got a lot fitter. And I think some of them have lost some weight. And I think it's making an enormous difference. I'm not going to name plays, that's not my go, but they just look to me big, fit and lean. Run for the long way. Got to be in front. Davis eventually gets a tap to it. Saunders up in the pocket on his own. Good tackle, Davis. What's the umpire called here? Held to it? Yep, was the ball up? Okay, yep, fair enough. Interesting decision. Can't say I disagree. Ball up there, Thompson and Carley. Brasington tackled in midair, which you can't do in other codes, but you can in Australian rules. It's not illegal at all. Carley and Thompson again. Can Singleton get one more in the quarter? Bates keeps it in. Thompson swoops, too late. Knight. Desperation Stakes City. Durbridge. Bates in and under. Now, that ball up's going to be very close to that point post. Now, I wonder if Carley realises he can't tap it through. You would hope so. He's a good player. Thompson. Knight. Gets it out. Clears the error momentarily. Mitchell. Spots someone square. Doesn't hit them yet. He's kicked that. That's a great kick. Cameron White. Was that Cameron White, guys? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Tom. Wasn't long left in that quarter. Cameron White's third goal. Just the goal that Singleton needed at the end of the quarter. Singleton up by 44 points, 11-10-76. And their shooting was diabolical, so they've come out of nowhere there. Newcastle City 5-2-32. And that will be the end of the quarter. And Singleton's put paid to this game, and what a performance this has been. That's the end of the quarter. I'll come back to you after a couple of minutes break with some scores from around the grounds. Back with you at Rose Point Park in Singleton. So some updates of scores. All scores around the grounds currently being played in the Cup. Nelson Bay 13-13-91, Gosford 7-6-48 at Dick Burwell Oval. At Hilton Moore Oval, Terrigal of Oka doing it hard, 9-6-60, grinding away over Killarney Vale 6-7-43. Here's the upset in the making. Maitland 8-2-50 at what would be a windswept Max McMahon Oval to over Warners Bay. 4 goals, 13-37 if you don't mind. Carter 14-7-91 will beat Wyong Lake 6-4-40. And Singleton 11-10-76, 5-2-32. Now, if the scores stay as they are right now, the finals will be as follows. Newcastle and City and Terrigal of Oka can enjoy Saturday afternoon on the golf course. They've got the week off and they're straight in the prelim final. And Newcastle City will get to play the prelim final at their beloved home at number 1 Sports Ground, and Terrigal of Oka will play their prelim at Adelaide Shirt Oval and Killarney Vale. Cardiff will play Warners Bay. Singleton will play Killarney Vale. The venues of the finals are Maitland and Muswellbrook. The Bar TV game's in Maitland, but what we haven't had confirmed yet, and of course we don't know that yet, is who will play where. Okay? So just to give you an update on that situation there. And by all likelihood, in the Black Diamond Plate, we'll have Warners Bay and Muswellbrook at Wirraman Field in Muswellbrook, and Terrigal of Oka, the entrance Baddo Bay against Killarney Vale at Max McMahon Oval in Rutherford. And if that happens, it's a pretty special day for a good friend of ours at Bar TV. James Newburn will play his 300th game of football next weekend. Away we go. The last quarter here at Singleton. Scott, as he always does, extracts. Baker, too much strength there. Goes on the left foot. Mark should be taken by Crawford. Yeah, dragged out of that without the football. Correct decision. Crawford will go back now. He's actually almost kicking down Breeze. He should really have a whack at this. Gets a good piece of it. Goes to the hot spot. Crash ball. Taylor turns around on his left foot. Misses. Newcastle City 5-3-33. Singleton 11-10-76. Nearly there. Short kick out here, finds Moody. Wynn gets it onto that ball. Brayshaw keeps it in front of him. Out there from Brayshaw, out to Scott. Cornelius coming back. Gets that ball down the wing, and the Breeze really gets hold of it. And we're out of bounds, a minute and a half into the last quarter. With a very short 20 to 25 km/h breeze coming directly across the ground here. It's favouring the team that's kicking on that far side of the ground, if you want to be honest. No one's getting a distinct advantage. Carley taps it at his second go. Knight steps inside, thumps it forward with a right foot. Taylor at the back, looks like he's very confident young marker, this bloke. And Mac O'Malley kicks that ball into purgatory. That's going to end up over at the Army base, that one. In fact, it's in the cricket nets. There's a couple of sets of nets in this setup. That's one of them. Ball curves in the air. They just managed to get it to the ground before it goes out of bounds in the full. We'll have some score updates in the last quarter again. Warners Bay by no means out of that game, but it doesn't really matter. Now, that particular game, if Singleton hold parity here, that score is irrelevant to the set structure of the finals. Sometimes this league just surprises you. Scott, sometimes it doesn't, but then sometimes it really does. Oh, Bracington's trying to take on a lot, gets a kick away. Cowburn stays on his feet. Selkirk has been very good today, but that one wasn't so good. Ball goes out of bounds. The umpire coming along now. Paul Warren. Warren gets a good throw to that one. That's third man in. You can't touch it on the full. Baker's claiming that the umpire's called play on. Baker's claiming that the umpire called play on and that he was unable to touch a football. That's not the case. Then Scott was claiming he was locked out of that contest by an illegal shepherd. Selkirk's in trouble. That was a one-hand handball, but it comes out anyway. Hartikainen thumps it forward while it's going to ground. White nutmegs himself. That's over the shoulder. Baker's taken the immediate advantage. Correct interpretation of the rule there. Who's at the background here? If that's Crawford, look out! Absolutely brilliant finish, Jackson Crawford. That's Crawford's third. Newcastle City 6-3-39. Singleton 11-10-76. Tyre Power are proud partners of the NCCUA and community AFL umpires across New South Wales and ACT. Right now and exclusively at Tyre Power, buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyo passenger and SUV tyres. Catalogue full of big brand savings out now. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner operator. 4 3/4 minutes gone. Singleton up by 37 points. Baker, wide. Newcastle City not giving up yet. You wouldn't expect them to. Taylor, Gibson's going for him. You can see the lead. Read best by Colachew. Goes to the dinky left foot kick. Excuse just 1 second. Guys, who's number 3? Singleton. Thank you, guys. Baker. Forward from good delivery. He just jumped too early, Mitchell, there actually. Good backup tackle. Newcastle City are looking their most likely for the entire game right now. Singleton's got to weather the storm. Cornelius goes to ground. Baker's got him in an effective tackle. And no free kick given there. Stanton getting his ruckman right. Throws the ball up. Coltrane, number 237 of the day, going past Colmer. Dragged out of that, I thought that ball had gone. Quick handball out from Thompson. Scott gets into a contest. They're really using some physicality here, Singleton. They've been doing it all day. Mitchell in particular throwing his smallish frame around. Someone went skiddling out the left-hand side of the screen. I just couldn't quite see it. They got whacked hard, though. Out of there comes Colmer. Clears the area eventually. It's a big pack. Bracington being held onto. Nutmegs himself. Almost a throw. Scott, magnificent left-hand handball. Almost too fast for McPherson there, actually. And another ball up. All these ball ups help Singleton because they take time off the clock. 7 1/4 minutes gone. In and under. Mitchell Knight, the recipient of the football. In front's Gaffney, worked over by O'Malley. Gibson behind. Colachew could almost mark that. Howling gale here at the moment. Out of there from Brayshaw. Over towards Draper. Out here to Scott, who's run all the way across there from those last contests at St Ard forward. needs options, goes to the short ball, needs to keep it in, finds Bates. He'll be looking at his most sensible options here, and that's probably the best one, to go long and straight down the line. Brasington pushes off with contempt Hartikainen. That's been a really interesting matchup, actually. Brasington. Cornelius over the back. Dragged out of that without the football and gets a free kick. 8.5 minutes gone. King. Mark. Driving low ball. Was that touched or did it hit the post? Got a funny feeling it hit the post. Behind there to Singleton. Singleton 11-11-77. And Newcastle City 6-3-39. Connor Sanders, Hugh Keller go down there. He's got a crook shoulder there. Very good player from Newcastle City over there running water. Good to see. That's typical Newcastle City. Even if you're injured, you're out there helping out the side. And under the new rules of football, that's a throw-in. Once you've played on outside the square, that ball's live and you can kick it out, which I think is an interesting adaptation of the rule. I kind of like the old rule where you couldn't kick it out, but now, if you're smart, especially with down breeze, you run out the square, kick a barrel, it goes out of bounds every time. I'm sure the powers that be will come up with some wonderful idea to stop that one. I don't think it's a problem though. Oh, Andrew Scott sells the candy brilliantly. White, picked off by Selkirk. Off the back comes Durbridge. Watch this ball go 50 metres on the fly. Goes too far. Over there is Howard. Over there is Gaffney, puts his head over the football. Brasington's in and under that. O'Malley's with him. Two pretty handy footballers there. 10 minutes gone in the quarter. I'll get ready for you with scores when I can. Just quickly, the Warners Bay Maitland score. 50-43, so Warners Bay down. Well, Maitland up by 7 points. Warners Bay's kicked the only goal of the quarter. Free kick to Davis. Davis goes as far as he can. Cowburn drops that one he otherwise might have picked up. Baker. He'll get a 1 vote for Newcastle City today, I guarantee it. Hartikainen. Oh, that's a Falcon. Oh, McPherson a Falcon. I hope you Singleton people are watching this on replay. McPherson, I'll say it for the third time. Falcon. Out there towards Howard. Brasington, that's not gone 15, but it's been paid. That ball went about 7. Brasington looking, square. Shaw's got Taylor for company. Now it's to ground. Taylor's got an even chance. And a free kick given to Taylor for persistence. And for Brayshaw just holding him off the football. Good lead and a mark there from Ellis. Baker. Good contest made by Mitchell. Moody steps out of trouble, steps back into trouble. Almost a throw, I'll tell you, almost a throw. White tries to bundle the ball out wide for a running player. Hartikainen, good tackle on him. Durbridge kicks it around the corner, finds Mitchell Knight. Newcastle City with all the ball in this last quarter, but they've only kicked 1 goal. And Mitchell's gone back to help out. He takes a mark there in the slot at centre half back. Short and wide. Thumps the ball up in the air. Ball rolls over in the one spot with this breeze. Brasington. Thought he should have had a free kick there, but it wasn't paid. Yeah, Brasington thought he got a clip around the ear there. Thompson and Carley. Scott, McPherson. Out of bounds on the full, I think. We can't tell because of that tent in front of us. And here's Durbridge. He would be well advised to go long. Short ball. As I said, I think he should have gone long from there. At a free attempted kick unhindered with this breeze. Rose kicking across it. One of the more intriguing battles today has been Bowyer and Scott. Bowyer's been a very good player, and Scott's probably been one of the better 3 players on the ground. Just goes because Scott's been tagged by Bowyer for a long time. He's still being tagged by him. Indicative of both players' skills, actually. That I think they've both been very good. Colmer, Brasington, Scott goes wide perfectly to Calburn, and away goes Calburn. He'd be too far out to score in this breeze, I would have thought. Gee, he got a fair bit of that. But again, the breeze took hold of it. And Singleton up 77-39. Keep refreshing our page for you. Just keep you up to date with the most important game at the moment for the structure of the finals, although this game's going to take care of it. Maitland have kicked another go, so Maitland up by 13 points down the road. They won't be happy if the result stays. Oh, great smother, Andrew Scott. Wide. Davis takes the mark, chooses to play on, tries to sell the candy. Bates should go off the ground there. Touched. 11-12-78. Singleton, Newcastle City 6-3-39. Joel Deacon, will there be a fine in him selling candy like that? Any chance? Yeah, it might be a fine in the... Oh, does Durbridge get that? Oh, yes, he did. That's gone to centre wing. Look at that. That's a magnificent barrel. Oh, what a kick. Mitchell's gone. He stepped into trouble and he should be gone. Sweetenham got the football. It should have been a free kick, actually. Cook, great smother. They've done that so well today. Brayshaw again. Goes backwards. Colachu, clever caress of a kick to Gaffney. Gaffney to Scott. Doesn't stop this fella. Goes to Gaffney again. Singleton, they're not worried about scoring at the moment. Playing tempo footy. Gaffney intercepted by Sweeten, and that ball, that kick went about 10 metres. Gibson. Crawford's run out of bounds and will keep on running to Singleton Railway Station if that keeps going. 78-39. Singleton 11-12 up by 39 points over Newcastle City 6-3-39. Waiting for a throw in here. 5-14 Warners Bay kick. Remarkable. Coming off the back of their 7-23 against these Roosters a few weeks ago. Brayshaw. Brasington, who's got such wonderful hands. Lovely grab. This young fella Bates has got some good skills, hasn't he? Can play the game. Scott breaking free. Waiting for a man to overlap, and that's Moody, I reckon. Beautiful delivery to Moody. That's not good delivery. Kicked it like a fullback. Out there from King. Saunders, good tackle, King. O'Donoghue. And a Mark Endall free kick, I'd suggest, to Sweetenham. He's the only player on the ground as short as Colmer, I reckon. Grant's got to get back on that mark and quickly, or was that Howard? No, it was Grant. Brasington in there with Swan. Needs a haircut, that lad. Swan, again fighting. Should have been over the shoulder to Sweetenham, I thought. Not paid. Grant does get that one out, although he jumped too early. Swan thumps it forward, wobbly old kick. Mitchell might tap that over the top. He does. Creates space for Bates. Can he pick it up? No, he can't at first option. Mitchell Knight tries to extract successfully. Cornelius. Cowburn's on his own out wide. If he can feed him, he does. He's got the breeze, Cowburn. And misses. 11-13-79 Singleton. Headed for a 12v5 final next week. A wonderful performance from this football club. Newcastle City 6-3-39. And City will end up having a bit of a look at themselves next week, but they've got the week off and a preliminary final at home. Oh, good tackle, Coleman. And paid. Short ball. Finds Scott. He's actually within distance. The big man should just go back here. Finds a player in a better position and kicks it to him. And I reckon Cam White's going to go back and kick his 4th goal today. Taking his time. Doesn't matter now. This will be Singleton's first of the quarter if he kicks it. Oh, he shanked it terribly. Gracious me. Kicked it off the instep. 11-14-80. Newcastle City 6-3-39. We'll have one more score check in a couple of minutes for you, and then that'll be the wrap-up of Around the Grounds. Durbridge out to Baker. Old firm there. Out to O'Donoghue. Goes very short. Finds O'Malley. I know they've been well beaten today, but the Newcastle City side that comes and plays in the preliminary final will look dramatically different to this. And knowing this football club and understanding their culture, they will work very hard in the next couple of weeks. This is probably a really good lesson for them. And I think that they'll be very, very hard to beat in the prelim final. But again, I think the drawing books will be brought out. They'll just sit down calmly and go through what's happened and work out some plans. Singleton, they've got 7-day turnaround. They've got KV next week. They've got to handle Scott Reed and Josh Mifsud and Tim Oosterhoff. Jaden and Liam Banfield. It's a big day for them too. Short ball from Crawford. Taylor. Selkirk. Opens up the play, kicks it with the breeze. Moody. Has a lot of time out towards Brayshaw. Breeze will take that one way out and towards us in the combox. White, well done O'Malley, very clever actually. Very good tackle, Cameron White. Excellent work, White. And Crawford, to his credit, took the tackle, went to ground. Big tackle and very fair. Only a couple of minutes left in this one, and what will be a history-making victory for Singleton. I very much doubt they've beaten Newcastle City very often in their history. May even be the first time they've done it. So, remarkable performance. And their form leading into the finals is very impressive. And that Kalani vs Singleton final will be one hell of a game of footy. Looking forward to it. If that was the broadcast, look, both of the semis next week could be crackers. Cardiff on Brooks Bay. Cardiff would be favourites. Only playing so-so footy at the moment, to be honest. But you never know. Oh, good mark at the back. Really good mark. To see this bloke playing such confident football on the backs is a big deal. Geez, awesome blank too. White. Taking his time. He'll go square. Off towards Gaffney. Gaffney goes wide. Draper. Chased well by Sheridan. Gets it to the 50-metre arc. Mitchell's in front. Back towards Cowburn. Back to Mitchell. Short little left foot kick is perfect to McPherson. Now, he's on the correct side of this breeze. He's got his 30 seconds. It's a smart move. Doesn't matter if he kicks a goal. That's what he should be doing. McPherson's taking every one of these 30 seconds, I'll tell you. Yes, Andrew, it's a strong breeze coming over from your right shoulder, my son. So McPherson from just inside 50. It's a fair bit of it. Oh, he's kicked it. He has kicked it. It tops off a wonderful day for the Singleton Football Club, in which they have shown themselves to be a serious contender for the grand final, in my mind. Singleton 12-14-86. Newcastle City 6-3-39. And I don't think that anyone in the league, I don't think even Singleton in their wildest dreams would have thought they would have put a 47-point victory up over Newcastle City. And it's going to be a very interesting way to practice this week at Rose Point Park as they get ready to face Killarney Vale next week. I did promise I'd get you a score from around the grounds before the end of the game. I don't have much time to do that, so I'll do it now. Oh, it's close now. It's 5 points the difference at Max McMahon Oval. Warners Bay 51, Maitland 56, and that game's still going down there at Rutherford. And of course, in this that result now actually doesn't have any. It'd be a fascinating result if Newcastle City won today, but of course it's made redundant. So Warners Bay and Cardiff next week in the semis, and Killarney Vale and Singleton next week as well in the semis. 2:15 starts, slightly later to accommodate for extra time in the other grades. And the finals at Max McMahon Oval in Rutherford and Wirraman Field in Muswellbrook. What a performance by Singleton, and listen to the crowd. That's an enormous win. Actual win psychologically and mentally and emotionally, what that does for a football club. To beat one of the heavyweights of this league for a generation like that at home in front of the faithful on what I think was Old Boys Day is a wonderful performance. Singleton 12-14-86. Newcastle City 6-3-39. What a remarkable performance. Nothing I can say about it. Newcastle City today, I thought that Bowyer did a very good job on Scott, and I'll talk about Scott in a minute. I thought he was very good. Baker was brilliant. Dervidge had his moments. Hardakainen had his moments as well. Mitchell Knight was okay. For Singleton, wow. Brasington, brilliant. Andrew Scott, superb. I thought Brayshaw was very good today. I thought Clodgy was solid. Cornelius was solid. The entire backline were very good. My Subway Morissette today, it's tough, but my Subway Morissette goes to the guy that I think generated all the drive. Subway Morissette to Andrew Scott. So Killarney Vale and Singleton next week in the semis. Warners Bay and Cardiff, whichever game that is, I cannot wait for us to bring it to you. On behalf of our producer, Kendall Clausen, our wonderful EP, who's not well and gone through 2 games of footy. On behalf of Kendall Clausen, this is David Redden wishing you a very good afternoon from Rose Point Park in Singleton.